Welcome guys to Pikama Stitches once again. Today I'm going to be showing us how to make this vest jacket, or you can call it waistcoat, in a very simple way. So if you're interested in this tutorial, kindly stay tuned to the end. Let's dive right into it. So guys, these are the fabrics I'm going to be using. I have this suit lining. It's called suit lining. I have 1 yard of that, and I have this 1 yard of Ankara print. Okay, and this is what we're going to be using to create this. Now this is a uniform. I made so many pieces of this. Okay, so the design on this is that these white lines are supposed to be going downwards like a stripe design, so we have to follow the pattern. Hence we're going to be folding this way in order to achieve that. Okay, now what will guide your fold is the bigger part of your body. For me, it's my bust. Okay, divided by 4, and then you add minimum 4 inches to that. Now after creating that, the next thing, at this center point, I'm going to be marking 1.2 inches. Okay, this is going to be for my button overlap in front. Okay, so I'm marking 1.2, but later I will mark out the 1 inch I actually need for my button overlap. So if you need yours to be wider than 1 inch, you can do more, but 1 inch is just fine, or you can do 1.5. Now after marking this all the way to the hem, all our measurements will be starting from this line inwards. Now at the top part, I'm going to be marking down 1 inch as well. This 1 inch is going to be serving as our shoulder line, and that's where all our measurement is going to be starting from. Okay, so I'm going ahead to connect this into a straight line. Then we'll go ahead and mark all other body measurements for this. So placing my tape from our shoulder point, I'm going to be marking my shoulder to bust point. For me, it's 11.5. I'm going to be marking that at several points in order to get a straight line. So go ahead and take your own measurements. I'm going to also mark my shoulder to waist point. For me, it's 18 inches. So go ahead and mark your own measurements. I'm marking this twice as well. And after that, I'm going to mark down to my hip point. Now I'm not going to be using this hip measurement, but why I'm marking this is so it will serve as a guide, because we don't need the lower part to be tight, so you can't use your waist measurement. So I just marked that point, but our waistcoat is not going to get to that point. Okay, so from my waistline, I just marked down 9 inches to my hip point, or you can do 8 inches since you're not going to be using all of that. Okay, if it's too long, it's not going to be fine. Okay, so it must not get to your hip. It depends on what you want to achieve though. So after taking all of those measurements, go ahead and connect them into a straight line. Okay, so after connecting them, this is my bust, my waist, and then my hip point, and this top line is my shoulder line. Now remember, all our measurements are starting from this button overlap allowance. So I'm going to be marking my shoulder measurements divided by 2, and after marking that, I'm going to be marking our 3 inches neck width for now, and then from that shoulder part, I'm going to come down by 1 inch, and I'll slope my shoulder. I'll slant my shoulder. Now we're making this slant because our shoulder is not straight. Now from that shoulder slant, I'm going to get my chest line measurement. Now that measurement is gotten by dividing your round bust measurement by 6, and you add 1.5 to that. So whatever you get, that's your chest measurement. So after getting that measurement, I'm going ahead to connect it as well into a straight line. Now this line becomes our chest line. Now at that chest line area, we're going to go ahead and mark as well from this line. Remember, mark as well the 8 inches we marked at the shoulder. Whatever you marked at your shoulder, go ahead and mark it on this chest line. What we're doing is basically creating a basic body block. Okay, so after that, we're going to get the midpoint of this armhole line, and you're going to come inwards by 1/2 of an inch. After doing that, from this line as well, you're going to be marking your round bust measurement divided by 4. Now you're going to mark whatever you have, and I'm adding 1.5 inch sewing allowance. That's the allowance I'm going to be using for this vest jacket. Now go ahead and connect in a curved manner. You can go ahead and use your pattern master, or you can use your free hand like I am if you know you're good at it. But if you're not sure, please use your pattern master and connect your armhole curve. Now after doing that, I'm connecting the same thing to my bust line because it's the same measurement. Now after that, at my waist area, I'm going ahead to mark my waist measurements divided by 4, and I'm also adding the same 1.5 inch sewing allowance, and I'm going to connect it back to the bust area. Now after connecting that, at that hip area, I'm also going to mark my hip measurements divided by 4, and I'm going to add my sewing allowance and also connect it all the way to the waist, back to the bust and the chest line. Now this is what we have. Now you can go ahead and add a dart to it if you want to add any dart, either princess dart or normal dart, shoulder dart, but I didn't want to add any dart to mine. Now from my waist point, I'm coming down by 4 inches. You can come down by 5 inches, come down by 3.5, but I came down by 5 inches. Now at this inner part, from that button overlap, go inwards by 2.5 inches. I marked 2.5 inches, but I later used 3 inches. So you can go ahead and mark 3 inches and make that line straight, just the way you see me do. We'll come back to that. Let's finish up at the upper part, okay? So we'll come back to the lower part to create the design effect. Now I'm going to be working with a shoulder width of 4 inches, okay? A shoulder width of 4 inches, and then I'm going to go ahead now and mark the actual button overlap I need, which is 1 inch, like I said earlier. Now sorry guys, I didn't remember to tell you. Now this vest jacket doesn't go all the way to your shoulder, okay, because it's more like a small sleeve, okay, it's more like a sleeveless top, okay. So I didn't remember to say I took out 1/2 inch from my actual shoulder width. So your shoulder width divided by 2 minus 1/2 inch, that was what I marked. So sorry guys, I just remembered, so I had to let that out, okay. Now after marking my actual 1 inch that I'm going to be using, I'm going to be creating my neck depth for the front, okay. So for the front, I'm going to be working with 9 inches neck depth. Remember, a shirt is going to be inside this. If you want yours to be deeper, it's fine. So I'm going to connect from that 4 inch neck width to my 9 inches neck depth. Now this vest jacket is going to be used with a shirt. It's a church uniform, okay. So this depth is not bad at all, but if you know you're going to be making it to wear just like this, it depends on your preference. You can work with any neck depth that you prefer, okay. So now we're going to create that design at the lower part. So go ahead and mark where you want the top part to, the front part to stop. So for me, I'm going to go up from this my hem line. Now where I mark this is where this vest jacket is going to stop, this 2.5 inch line we went in by. Now from that line I went up by 3 inches. Now I'm going to connect my 3 inch mark that you saw me connect from my button overlap. I'm going to connect it to that 2.5 inch mark we went in by. I hope this is clear, okay. Connect it back to this 3 inch line we came in by, and from there you're going to connect back to your 4 inches you came down from your waist by. I hope this is clear. Now let me explain this again. From the hem part, the length of this my half jacket is 25. From that 25 inch I went inwards by 2.5 inch. Now this is where I'm extending it to 3 inches, and then from my button overlap line I went up by 3 inches and I slanted and connected the lower part. Please, if this is not clear, ask questions in the comment section, or you let me know, okay. Just let me know, or watch what I did and you'll get it. Now I'm going ahead to add 1/2 inch at the shoulder. Don't forget to add this for our shoulder joining, and we're done with the front. It's as simple as that. I'll go ahead to cut this out. Please, if any part of this tutorial is not completely clear to you, please let me know in the comment section. So just go ahead and cut this out. Please, if you've not subscribed to this channel, kindly click on that subscribe button and subscribe. This goes a long way to help, support, and encourage me to put out more videos. Now, there's a trending tutorial on TikTok, a trending video, sorry, a dress style I saw on TikTok, and I would really love to show us how to make it. So kindly subscribe and stay tuned for that tutorial. You wouldn't want to miss that. Okay, so watch how I'm cutting this lower part. It will be clear to you. Okay, but if anything is not clear to you, please let me know in the comment section. I'll be right there to answer your questions. So this is what we have for the front. I'll go ahead and open up my button overlap space, and then we'll go ahead to cut out our back piece as well. Remember, you're going to be using lining for this, since my suit lining is not big enough. I said I'm cutting out in bulk, so you're going to be needing lining. This suit lining was not enough. Okay, but if you have enough, you're going to be needing like 1.5, depends on your size. If you have enough suit lining, you use it for both the lining and the outer part of the back as well. Okay, so now for us to cut out the back, I have my fabric on fold. We're going to close up this button overlap space, because there's no button overlap at the back. So it's either you fold it in or you use your pins to hold it in place, because we need this center front line to match up, align with this center back line, just the way you see me place it. Can you see this? So I'll go ahead to pin this in place. Just fold in your button overlap line, because you're not going to be needing it at the back. So after folding it in place, we'll go ahead and make some alterations. Now for the neck depth for the back, I'm working with a neck depth of 1 inch. So I've extended the back shoulder line. I'll come down by 1 inch and connect it to the neck width. The neck width has to be the same. The only difference is the neck depth. Now at the armhole area, remember we took out 1/2 inch for the front. Now this is the back. We'll need to replace that 1/2 inch. Okay, so I'm replacing that 1/2 inch and I'm connecting it back to the shoulder and back to the bust point. That's the armhole area, just the way you see me do. And that's it. I'm going to go ahead to cut this out. Now this fabric is actually on a fold of 4. Okay, because I'm cutting this exact body size for 2 different persons. They have the same body measurement. So we're actually running out of fabric. I had to use lining to line this. Okay, but if you're a plus size and you want to make this half jacket, this vest jacket, I'd advise you use the same suit lining as the inner lining and also for the back main lining. So you need to buy enough fabric that will go round for that. Okay, so I'll go ahead and cut out the armhole, and then I'll also cut out the sides. Now the sides is going to be the exact same thing. Cut, and you're going to stop right where your front side stops, just where you see me stop. Okay, I really hope this tutorial is clear and simple enough. I wanted it to be as simple as possible so everyone can understand and get what we're doing. So this is what we have at this point. Go ahead and mark where the front side stops and where the front center stops. Can you see what we have? I'll go ahead to take out the front piece so we can make some alterations at the back piece. So I'm taking out my pins and I'm taking out my front piece for now. Thank you. So you go ahead and connect the side, the chalked mark that you just made, the side where the front side stopped and the center of the front stop. You go ahead sorry guys, and connect this into a straight line. Now you can decide to leave your own back like this and cut this out. It will still come out perfectly well. but I wanted it to have this little curve effect at the center back. So I came up by 1 inch, and I'll go ahead and connect it in a slanted manner back to meet the side. Ensure the sides are the same, because the sides need to match up. Very important. So that's the only alteration I made, but it's not necessary. Okay, it's not compulsory. You can always connect yours to be straight at the back. So this is what I have for my back piece. I'll go ahead and use this to cut out on the lining and the front piece as well. So this is what I have. I've gone ahead to cut out my lining that we're going to be using to turn the front and the back, because we didn't have enough fabric, like I said earlier. Okay, so this will be used to turn the back, and these linings will also be used to turn the front pieces as well. So I'll go ahead and open this up, and when you open this up, this is what you're going to have. Can you see? Our jacket is already looking so beautiful. Now please give this video a thumbs up if you've watched up to this point. Okay, thank you so much, guys. So go ahead and lay these right sides facing each other, the main piece facing each other. Okay, right sides join on the shoulder with 1/2 inch, and do same to the lining. So after joining the main fabric to main fabric on the shoulder, we're going to be joining this separately. Make sure you work with your hemming gum. Okay, and I've also done same to the lining. You're going to be placing these right sides facing each other, right side of the lining facing the right side of the main fabric, just the way you see me place it. Make sure the shoulders are matching, the armhole area, all the seam lines, everything is matching perfectly. You can use your pins to hold them in place. Okay, and you're going to need your hemming gum for this. Now you're going to stitch round every opening around this half jacket. You're going to stitch it except the side seam allowance. You're going to leave the sides of both front and back open, but both the lower part, the armhole, the neck, the lower part of the front, everything, you're going to stitch it down, and make sure to use your hemming gum, so when you flip it to the right side, it will be easier. It will lay flat when you iron. So I'll stitch it and show us. So this is what I have. Can you see? I used my hemming gum, and I've made some notches, most especially at those corners, and you can see my side. The side seams are open, both on the front and on the back. So you're going to be putting your hand on one side of the opening to pull one part, just the way you see me do, to the front. Can you see what we have? And you're going to repeat the same thing at the other part. Now after bringing everything out, you're going to take your time and iron appropriately. This hemming gum and the notches you made will help you help your seams to lay flat and perfect. Everything will come out just nice. Take your time, bring out all the corners, all the pointy edges out neatly. Okay, just the way you see me do. Pull it out gently. Everything is going to come out, and when you're done pulling, go ahead and iron. If you have a steam iron, you can use it, or you sprinkle a little bit of water and use your normal pressing iron to press, but ensure all the pointy edges are out. So can you see what we have? I'll go ahead and give this a really good press, and I'll show us what we have. So this is what I have after pressing this. Can you see how easy this tutorial is? I'm already loving my vest jacket. Can you see the back? Okay, and I've gone ahead to pin the center front by my 1 inch button overlap to help me shape the side. I know the measurement to hold when I'm turning the sides. Okay, very important to ensure you still have your seam allowance. Now after taking out my pins, I'll show us how to join the sides neatly. You're going to bring the both sides like this, and then you put your hand in from one opening at the back area, and then you're going to hold them together this way and flip it the way you see me do. Okay, you can watch this again to understand what I'm doing. Now after flipping everything, make sure everything is well aligned. You're going to be matching the main fabric to the main fabric, lining to lining, and you're going to pin it round, ensuring that the armhole lines are matching accurately, the lower part seams are matching accurately, so that when you flip it to the right side, one part won't be longer than the other. Everything will match perfectly and seamlessly. Can you see what I have? So go ahead and pin this round. Make sure the main fabric is facing the main fabric and the lining is facing the lining. Okay, so I'll go ahead and stitch this round, and then I'll bring this back. So after stitching this round, I'll pull it out from one end. Now if you laid everything accurately, this is what you have. Can you see? The lower part is matching, the armhole area is matching, can you see? And the inside is neatly finished, and we're done with one part. Now we're going to be joining this part differently because there won't be any opening for us to bring it from. So I'll show us another way to join this. You're going to flip the front piece just the way you see me do, but still ensuring that the armhole lines matches, the side seams are matching, right side facing right side, lining facing lining. Pin down the lower part as well, ensuring that the lower seam also matches accurately. Pin it down, okay? And you're going to be sewing on the main fabric and leave a little opening on the lining piece, okay, where you're going to bring it out from. Now from the lining you can close it up easily, but ensure your opening is not at the front. I hope you understand what I mean. Ensure your opening is not at the main seam area, the front area. It has to be at the lining area. I hope this is clear. So this is what I have. This is the little opening I left. Can you see? So when I flip everything out, the outside is neat. Can you see what I have? The outside here is all sealed up, and the lower part is matching, the armhole seam is matching. I'm going to give this a good press, but when you turn it to the lining, the little opening I left, can you see what I have to bring out my seam, is still there. So you're going to close this up neatly. It's either you put your hemming gum, can you see the opening? You can put your hemming gum inside of this and then you iron it down, or you can hold the both seams together neatly and stitch it down. So use any method you like, and I'll give this a good press. Now after giving this a good press, I had to fix my button immediately because I was working on so many of this. So the spacing I left was 3-3-inch space for my button, and I fixed 5 buttons. Can you see what I have? This is so beautiful. If this tutorial was helpful, please kindly give this video a thumbs up. Please, if you have any question, just let me know in the comment section. And I made some bow for this. Now since I was in a hurry, I couldn't make a tutorial of the bow. If you want a tutorial on how to create this bow design, please kindly let me know in the comment section. Till I see you guys next time. Bye bye. Thank you.